Mama. Welcome to the Mrs. Mummy PhD podcast. I am your host, Dr. Michelle Gibbs, and this podcast exists to help scholarly mamas like you to achieve your life and academic goals without sacrificing what matters most. Here, we're changing the overwhelm, juggle, struggle narrative around what it means to be a mama on an academic journey to one of empowerment, fulfillment, and purposeful success. So how do we successfully navigate these journeys? Well, first, we need the space to embrace this unique blend. Let's begin by saying yes to creating a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside, because that's when we truly become purposefully whole. So get ready for the most non-traditional, unconventional, and revolutionary approach to PhD motherhood, because one thing I have learned over my many years of experience on this journey is that if you want something different, you have to do something different. But you must be brave enough to think differently first. So, Mama, are you in? Fabulous! Let's begin. These are our journeys of becoming. Hey, Mama, welcome back to the podcast. I wanted to introduce a completely new concept of calling this episode my PhD graduation PLOG. And a PLOG, according to Mrs. Mummy PhD, is, you know how you hear about blogs and vlogs, which are like, video versions of blogs. Well, this is going to be a podcast version of a vlog. So I'm calling it a PLOG. And I really just wanted to use this opportunity to kind of talk through all the things I'm thinking about as I prepare for my PhD graduation, which will be happening imminently. So this is going to be part one. I will then come back and share with you part two, which would be after my PhD graduation ceremony. I'll come back and share just how it went and all that. But I just thought I'd give you some real life, coverage, sharing my thoughts about how I am preparing for my PhD graduation and all the feelings that I am experiencing as I prepare for this. So very recently, we went to celebrate a very close friend of mine's graduation. She also recently graduated with her doctorate, and, we've become quite close along the journey of these doctoral degrees. And she's also a mom. She's also a wife. She also has other things that she is working on in her life. She's got her profession. We're actually both in the same profession. And she has been such an integral part of, especially towards the latter part of my PhD journey. And I have also supported her in, navigating all of the challenges and the hurdles that come with navigating a doctoral degree as a mom. And so we had the opportunity recently to celebrate her graduation at her graduation party and celebrate this with her. And it just felt so full circle. I was so incredibly proud of her, so incredibly proud of us, of the fact that we have achieved the goals that we set for ourselves, despite the challenges, despite being immigrants, despite being wives and moms and wearing all of these other hats that we wear, being able to have the impact from our doctoral degrees that we want to have on the world, that we want to have on our professions, that we want to create in this world, the good that we want to put into this world from the journey that we've been on our doctoral degrees. And so to be able to celebrate that with her, with our family, with our friends, was just such a special moment for me. And I just really wanted to mention this because many of you are on this journey and you're doubting whether you will ever see it through, whether you can see it through, whether you can do this as a mama, whether this is for you. And I kind of wanted to share some snippets of the joy that awaits you at the finish line of all of this. The joy that you have done this, you have achieved your goal, you have done the impossible, right? And I really wanted to just encourage you with that. There is going to be an end point. It will come. There will be some sunshine after the rain. And all you have to do is hang in there. All you have to do is believe in what's possible for yourself. And in addition to that, make sure that you put the strategies in place to help you get from being overwhelmed and feeling like you want to just walk away to feeling empowered and actually being able to reach the finish line and see it through and enjoy the joy at the end that awaits. And so in this episode, like I said, I wanted to share just share with you some of the things I'm doing as I prepare for my PhD graduation. And so first of all, if you have been on this podcast for a while, you'll know that I actually completed my PhD last year. And because of that, I was actually due to graduate in January. Again, the graduation ceremony is just a formality. It's not even a requirement. You don't have to actually attend the ceremony. As you know, my PhD is my 5th degree. I have 1 bachelor's, 3 master's level degrees, and 1 PhD. And the only graduation I have actually ever attended was the graduation for my 1st degree. And I was reflecting with my husband recently, and we were talking about that graduation ceremony. My dad came from Barbados and he came up to New York, which is where I was doing my 1st degree. So he came up there, and for the graduation ceremony, my grandparents came. My granddad, who's no longer sadly with us, he was there. It was such a proud moment because I was the first person in our family, on both sides of our family, actually, my mom and my dad's side, to even attend university. And so to have them at that ceremony with me, looking back at the photos recently, my husband and I were reflecting on this and we're looking back at some of the photos, and it was such a proud moment. It was really just such a proud moment. Actually, just when I had graduated, my husband had his graduation just a few weeks before me. This is when we did our 1st degrees, and he too had that proud moment. He had all his family there. I was there, obviously. And it was just so special for us to celebrate each other because we were the first people in our families to even attend university and graduate with a degree. And just reflecting on how that felt as I am now preparing for my current graduation ceremony, I'm like, oh my goodness, like that was such a good feeling. It was such a good feeling, a feeling of pride, a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of deep reflection of what it actually means to achieve this goal. And so as I'm preparing for my PhD graduation, I am also navigating those same thoughts and feelings because yes, this is my 5th degree. So, this is not the first time I've completed a degree, but I think this one is a little bit more significant. And even at the graduation celebration for my friend, I was chatting with somebody at that event, and the person was saying, even if you didn't go to any of the other graduations, the PhD one you really should go to because that's such a huge accomplishment. The person who I was having this conversation with also completed a PhD, and she was just saying you really should attend this one because it's such a significant accomplishment, such a significant degree. It's a terminal degree, and most people don't do multiple PhDs. Some people do, right? It's not impossible to do that. But for me, I know this will be my last degree. And so I'm looking forward to experiencing this moment with my husband, with the boys, to the absolute fullest. Just the excitement, the joy, the thrill, the celebration. I am here for all of it. And then one of the things I actually said for myself in 2024 is that I really want to just celebrate things more. I want to really make the most of these moments. I didn't attend other 3 graduations because I thought, it's not such a big deal. It doesn't really matter. And I didn't do it. And now I'm like, no, I'm going to go all out for this. I'm going to really enjoy the moment, treasure the moment, savor the moment, and share the moment, right? Share the moment with my friends and my family. And so as I'm preparing for the graduation, I am thinking about what it means and all the significance of that. But then there are some practical things that I need to do in order to prepare for this graduation. So the first thing that I needed to think about was booking the ceremony. Like I said, I was meant to attend the ceremony in January, but I didn't want a winter graduation. And so I opted to attend the summer one instead, so that the weather is nicer and it's just a nicer experience. So here we are. And that meant I had to book the sessions. I had to book myself a place at this graduation ceremony. Again, that may vary according to where you are attending your university. I am speaking from the perspective of someone who's completed their PhD in the UK, so I don't know what it's like in terms of other countries, but I had to book my place at the ceremony. So once I did that, I then had to book tickets for any friends and family. So at my university, there is a limit as to how many tickets you can book for guests. And I was able to book tickets for my husband and the boys. And of course, one of my sons is a toddler. And so he is included as well. So the second thing is to book your guest tickets. Yeah, so book yourself your place at your graduation and then book your guest tickets. Once I booked all of that, I then, and this was done maybe a couple of months ago, I then had to think about the regalia, the graduation attire. And for my university, there's a particular company that they use to supply this regalia. And I had to book that. So that was done online, which was pretty straightforward. I opted to just rent it for the ceremony rather than purchase it. You can purchase it if you want to, but I didn't see the need to do that. It's really just a formality for the ceremony, and I've opted to just rent it for the ceremony. The other option I had was to rent it for an additional week after if you wanted to take it away and take photos in other locations and things, but I haven't opted to do that. So I am just renting it for the ceremony. And then I guess once all that official stuff is booked, you can book the photographer through the university as well if you want official photos, or you can just show up on the day for that. But the other thing to think about was what we're all going to be wearing. So I did not buy myself a new dress for my graduation. I did not buy a new outfit. I'm wearing one that I already have that I like. And I did have to purchase outfits for the boys because, again, they're growing and things that they had before don't fit. And they needed something new for this occasion. So I did have to purchase outfits for them. My husband is also wearing something that he had prior. And so it was really just the cost of buying the outfits for the boys. So I guess thinking about, especially if you're a mama, thinking about the clothing that the family need to wear, if you need to purchase those, that was something that I needed to do. And just thinking about the weather, I guess if you're having a summer graduation, you want to wear something that isn't going to keep you hot and make you uncomfortable. Obviously, if you're having this graduation in the winter months, then you'll be wearing something for the weather. And so then it's just preparing for the trip there. I have to get to the venue nice and early because I have to pick up the graduation attire and collect tickets and make sure everybody knows what they need to do, take any official photos, and all of that will be happening before the ceremony begins. And then making sure that the family, my husband and the boys, they've found their seats and they know where they are going to be seated and all of that. So really, to be honest, there hasn't been a whole lot to do. I've found it quite streamlined so far in terms of booking the tickets, booking the guest tickets, and just booking the graduation attire. It has all been pretty straightforward so far. So I'm hoping that will continue on the actual day and it will be, hassle-free once the day actually arrives. And yeah, I think we will probably after the graduation ceremony, go out and have a meal together. I am actually going to be having a graduation party after the ceremony, so I will share more about that. But for now, it's just really preparing for that ceremony and making sure that I enjoy every single moment of it and I really cherish and savor what this means. I am so excited. I am so excited for all that is to come, the ceremony, the post-ceremony party celebrations, just enjoying every moment of this PhD graduation celebration, because I want my boys to look back on this as a core memory that will live with them for years and years and years to come, remembering the moment that Mummy walked that stage, got her PhD, and did her family and herself proud. And so I guess for me, it's just one of those things that I don't think I'll ever forget. And I'm so happy that I chose to actually attend the graduation ceremony for this final time. I'm really quite excited about it. So if you are, if you're near to the end of your PhD journey, send me a message on Instagram or send me a text message on this podcast or send me an email and just let me know how you are preparing for your graduation ceremony, and let me know what you think of the whole PLOG idea. Should I do more PLOGs? I've got so many fun things coming up and I'm wondering whether this is something I should do to kind of give you my reflections. I will, like I said, I will share my post-PhD graduation ceremony thoughts. I'll share those with you and let you know how it went and share a ball by ball of the day and everything that we had to do, or, how the experience was for us. I will definitely share all of that with you. But really, this was just a short episode to share how I'm preparing, how I'm feeling about the actual ceremony, and to just rest in the excitement, if you can do such a thing. So yeah, I really, really wanted to just share that with you. So come along with me. I want to take you with me on this journey. I want you to be a part of my graduation ceremony. You have been such an integral part of this journey for me. I started this podcast when I was near the end of my PhD. I started my blog when I was in the middle of my PhD. And I really have appreciated taking you along on this journey. It has been a source of joy and fulfillment for me to be able to share this experience with you. And I hope that it inspires you. I hope it inspires you to keep going. If you're in that tough spot, I know navigating this journey as a scholarly mama is not an easy feat. It is not for the faint of heart, right? But the fact that you are here and still listening to this podcast week after week reminds me of the importance of doing this purposeful work, the importance of being here and showing up for you, really. This is why I do this. I do this podcast for you because I want you to know that there is a light at the end of this tunnel, and I want to celebrate your success just as much as you have been a part of mine. So thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to share with you the next iteration of this Mrs. Mummy PhD graduation PLOG. And I look forward to sharing that with you in the next episode. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, Mama, I'm sending you lots of love and lots of gratitude. Take care, Mama. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Mrs. Mummy PhD podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. And if you did and you want in on this movement, please head over to mrsmummyphd.com or scholarlymamas.com. If you want to do your PhD well without sacrificing yourself or those you love dearest, then you need your hands on my free training called the PhD with Purpose Maminar. When you join us inside Scholarly Mamas Explore, you'll get access to this free training and so much more. Remember, Mama, these are our journeys of becoming.